His address was confirmed, and he met all the requirements that warranted him to be granted bail.
How serious are these charges?
These charges are very serious because this offence is a Schedule 5 offence.
What minimum time does he face? Is it jail time? Is it a suspended sentence?
Well, the magistrates then, at the end of the trial, will then decide, based on the evidence, what suitable sentence is for him.
There was a bit of a technicality in terms of confirming Mr. Makwarela's home.
Right, of course, we also have COPE that is here to obviously also just give us their inputs following the brief appearance of Dr Murunwa Makwarela. He has been released on 10,000 rand bail, of course under strict bail conditions. He's not allowed to leave the Gauteng province without permission from the investigating officer. So Brian Mkhono here from COPE is joining us right now.
Hi, good morning to the viewers. Good afternoon to the viewers. Finally we are here at court today. As you know that the former chairperson of COPE, Dr Makwarela, has been appearing here this morning. I must say that you should take note that Dr Makwarela has resigned as a member of COPE, and in this situation he is now facing the court of law, which will have to ventilate the matters as they stand. But be that as it may, we want to believe into the competencies of our criminal justice system. We hope that Dr Makwarela, as he's having his day in court, will eventually be judged by what evidence is presented before the court.
In which capacity were you supporting him? Because we know there's factions in COPE as well, but were you here as a friend and close family friend member, or as a spokesperson and party representative of COPE?
Look, apart from him being a friend, you must remember he is the former chairperson of COPE. But I mean, I'm here now as a capacity, as a friend who definitely, when the man is down, he must be given the support. We must always be rallying behind him, irrespective of the situation that he's facing. We are currently in a situation where we are saying that let the law take its course. We will rally behind him, we will support him, and that's our take.
What do you make of
All right, thank you so much. We turn our attention to the Hawks. They're also part of the broader investigations. Of course, from the Hawks side, there's a lot of investigations that went into this, but they continue. Just your inputs.
We are very happy with the subsequent arrest following him handing himself over, and we will be prepared for trial. As you have already heard in court, that the case has been postponed to the 2nd of May, where we'll be getting information from the defense as well as exchanging information with them in preparation for the trial.
How serious do you view this matter?
This is a Schedule 5, which is very serious because him handing in a fraudulent document resulted in him getting the job that has been put forward as the executive mayor of the city of Tshwane.
There's often concern from the public domain that politicians, in particular those who held high office, do not really feel the true might of the law. They get off very easily. Are we going to see justice prevail and proper and thorough investigations here?
Definitely you will see justice prevail. As you have said, this is a serious offence which results in people having jobs that they are not due to them because of handing in over fraudulent certificates.
How are we going to perhaps prevent any political interference?
The Hawks will be investigating, as we have already done, without fear or favour or prejudice of everyone.
All right, thank you so much. There, of course, the Hawks just adding their voice to the many voices here after the disgrace that Tshwane Mayor Dr Murunwa Makwarela made his first court appearance. Here, of course, he faces 2 charges of fraud. One relates to the fact that he never declared that he was sequestrated in 2016, and the second is relating to the charge of uttery, and that follows the submission of the fake rehabilitation certificate. Of course, the state did not oppose bail. They felt that he is a first-time offender. He has no pending warrants of arrest or pending cases against him. They also felt that he is no flight risk. Of course, he was granted bail under strict conditions. One, he's not allowed to leave the country or leave the Gauteng province without the permission of the investigating officer. He is also supposed to submit his passport tomorrow. So a lot of conditions, the magistrate in the matter making it very clear that if he should not abide by the law and if he should not, of course, respect the conditions set out in this court, then he will be in serious trouble. In fact, perhaps more trouble than he already is in. You would remember how this whole matter started. The 28th of February, he was elected as Tshwane mayor. In less than 7 days, reports started making the rounds that he is insolvent and he is not rehabilitated. City manager Johan Mettler then forced him to, of course, submit evidence that he was rehabilitated. He failed to do so. He was removed. 2 days later, he submitted a fake rehabilitation certificate, and of course investigations started. Even the office of the chief registrar saying that they do not recognize this particular certificate. Of course, the city of Tshwane then opened a case against him. The Tshwane multi-party also opened a case of fraud against him, and that's where, of course, his legal troubles started, and today them coming full force as he had his first court appearance. He's expected to be back in court on the 2nd of May. That is just over, or rather less than a month from now. He'll be back at this very court, and we will then hear what's the way forward. You heard from the Hawks saying that they view this in a very serious light. Of course, the NPA also echoing the very same sentiment, but concern remains whether this particular case, as it is political of nature, whether it will receive the right attention that it deserves, whether there will be equality before the law. We've heard the concerns over the years where citizens say that people who are highly connected politically often are not held accountable. The justice system, the criminal justice system, is very lenient towards them. So one wonders what will happen with Dr Murunwa Makwarela's case. Of course, the state prosecutor saying that this is a Schedule 5 offence, and this relates to the fact that the fraud or the alleged fraud that was committed is over R500,000, as Dr Murunwa Makwarela received a salary as a councillor and as a speaker later on from the city of Tshwane, which is over R1 million from, of course, November 2021 after the local elections to when he ultimately resigned after he was exposed to not having had, of course, being rehabilitated and did not have the right documents to prove his innocence. Today in court, through an affidavit that he submitted through his lawyers, he said that he is pleading not guilty to all charges. So, of course, there already you see that it's going to be interesting. We spoke to him very briefly this morning just to find out how is he feeling, and he responded to me saying that he feels blessed and highly favored. So we wonder throughout this trial, will he continue to feel blessed and highly favored?